There are more than 43 quintillion, that's 43 billion ways of solving a Rubik's Cube. The current human world record is 3.47 seconds, and a robot can do it in half a second. If you want to get that good, here's a great starting point. Technically, you can solve any Rubik's Cube in 20 moves or less. For starters, let's see what a 3x3 cube consists of. It has three main sections: center, edge, and corner. Center cubes are located in the center of each side and are of one visible color. There are 6 of them in total, and they don't move. That's why the color of the center cube represents each side of the whole thing. An edge piece on a Rubik's Cube is where 2 visible colors meet, like this one here. There are 12 of them in total. Corner pieces are located in the corner of each of the cube. There are 8 of them. They have 3 visible colors. A standard Rubik's Cube has 3 layers consisting of 9 blocks. It's the part of the cube that you turn. It also has 6 sides or faces. You'll see the initials for them in every algorithm. F is for front, B is for back, L means left, R means right, U is up, and D is down. A Rubik's Cube algorithm is a series of rotations that shifts blocks into the right positions to solve it gradually. When you master one or more algorithms, you'll be able to solve a 3x3 cube in under 5 seconds. Cubers write down all moves in letters that stand for 190-degree cube rotation. R, for example, means clockwise rotation on the right face. Clockwise rotations are marked with a prime symbol. The number next to the letter stands for how many times you need to rotate the cube. Before you start solving the cube using an algorithm, practice the rotations. Feeling the cube and learning to rotate it quickly will help you improve your solving time. Professional cubers use finger tricks. It means doing a rotation with a single finger instead of the whole hand. The easiest one is rotating the up face clockwise and counterclockwise your right or left index finger. Give it a go now. Try turning the top face clockwise and counterclockwise. There you go. Now try moving the bottom layer with your ring fingers. Perfect. And now try combining these moves with turning right and left sides. You'll get there. It just takes practice. Okay, now you're ready for your first algorithm. It consists of 7 steps. Number 1, build a white cross on the bottom. Number 2, solve the white corners. Number 3, solve the middle layer. Number 4, build a yellow cross. Number 5, swap yellow edges in the top layer. Number 6, get the yellow corners in the right position. Number 7, solve the final layer corners. Step 1, build a white cross on the bottom. Hold the cube with the white face up. In this case, the white face is the one that has a white center. There's no strict algorithm for this step, so try building the white cross following your intuition. First, you should get something looking like a daisy. When you're done with it, align the right colors of the layers with the color of the center and rotate this layer 180 degrees. Do the same thing with the remaining whites. And this is how you get a white cross at the bottom. Step 2. Solve the white corners. The goal of this step is to have 3 cubes of the same color in the top layer and 1 cube in the center of the middle layer of the left, right, front, and back faces. The white side of the cube will be solved. You'll need to use the main right-hand algorithm for this step. Twice. Rotate only the top layer of the cube to find a corner that's the same color as the centers of the other sides. First, the right face goes clockwise. Then, shift the up face clockwise. The right face goes counterclockwise. Finish the algorithm by rotating the up face counterclockwise. In case the corner is placed correctly in the bottom layer but not oriented correctly, repeat the algorithm until the corner is in the right place. Do the same thing with the rest of the corners. Step 3. Solve the middle layer. At this stage, you'll need to solve the rest of the middle layer so that the outer blocks are the same color as the center. Rotate the cube to move the completed white face to the bottom. No worries, you can't mess it up. Everything will fall back into position if you follow the algorithms. There are two possible scenarios for this layer. If you need the center top piece to move to the second layer left, here's an algorithm for that. Let's go through it. Rotate the up face counterclockwise. The left face goes counterclockwise. Rotate the up face clockwise. Move the left face clockwise. The up face goes clockwise. The front face goes clockwise. The up face goes counterclockwise. And the front face goes counterclockwise. If you need the center top piece to go to the second layer right, use a different algorithm. So for this one, start with rotating the up face clockwise. Then, shift the right face clockwise. The up face goes counterclockwise. Rotate the right face counterclockwise and the up face counterclockwise. The front face goes counterclockwise and the up face goes clockwise. Finish this step with shifting the front face clockwise. Repeat that with all the sides, and you're done. Step 4. Build a yellow cross. The goal of this step is the same as with the white cross, but there are more things to think about here. Here's the algorithm for this step. Rotate the front face clockwise. The right face goes clockwise. Now, rotate the up face clockwise and the right face counterclockwise. The up face goes counterclockwise. Finally, rotate the front face counterclockwise. At this point, you might see one of the 3 different patterns on your cube. Depending on which one it is, you should run the algorithm for this step a certain number of times. If you have a single yellow dot on your cube, perform the algorithm 3 times. If it's an L shape, start with rotating the cube so that the legs of the L shape encase the edge pieces in the top left. Run the algorithm twice. If you have a line, rotate the cube until the line is horizontal. Then, go through the algorithm just once. Step 5. Swap yellow edges in the top layer. Now you need to arrange the edges of the yellow cross so that the second color coincides with the color of that side. Find one edge that's already in place. Rotate the top layer of the cube to align the edge with the corresponding color. It's important that only one edge is matching. Keep it in front of you and use the algorithm until the remaining edges get in the right positions. Let's give it a go. Start by rotating the right face clockwise. Next, turn the up face clockwise and the right face counterclockwise. Now rotate the up face clockwise. The right face goes clockwise as well. Now, the up face goes counterclockwise 2 times. Turn the right face counterclockwise to finish the algorithm. Step 6. Get the yellow corners in the right position. At this stage, the task is to get the remaining yellow corners where they belong. You only need to move them in place. You're not solving them just yet. Find the corner that's already in place. In this case, it's even rotated correctly. But that's not important. And use this algorithm until the corners are in their places. Okay, let's do it. Turn the up face clockwise. The right face goes clockwise as well. Rotate the up face counterclockwise and the left face counterclockwise. The up face goes clockwise and the right face counterclockwise. Now, turn the up face counterclockwise and the left face clockwise. Keep going until you make it. Step 7. Solve the final layer corners. You're almost done. All you have to do is solve the corners. Rotate the cube so that the yellow side is facing you. You'll work with the upper right corner. Let's solve it corner by corner using this algorithm. Turn the up face clockwise and the right face counterclockwise. Rotate the up face counterclockwise. The right face goes clockwise. Once you're done with one corner, move to the next one by rotating the side that's facing you. Keep using the same algorithm. Rotate the front layer so that all colors of the cube match. Congrats! You now know how to solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube. If you want to do it faster, get a high-quality cube. Probably a speed one. Learn the basic algorithms by heart, and give it as much time and practice as you can. Then, the moves will come automatically. And you'll be able to solve the cube in under 5 seconds, no problem.
The tension is rising. Everyone is glaring at you from their seats. The spotlight is illuminating you and the dozens of other Rubik's Cubes on the table. Sweat is dripping from your face. The timer is set and goes off. You instantly grab a level 1 cube and begin fiddling with your fingers until you get the right combination. A level 1 cube is easy, as it only requires a few moves to get the colors on each side. In general, the best way to solve a Rubik's Cube is to get the white square in the center and keep it facing up. And then you have to create a cross while using the white center square as the midpoint, while also moving the other colors in a cross shape. Look for a white piece at the bottom of the cube. If it's a corner piece, then don't go for it. Preferably, go for the piece that will make the shape of a cross. Next, move it along while keeping it on the bottom until it's lined up, and then move it 180 degrees. You'll solve a straight line from the white squares on the top part where you had the white centerpiece. The next part is a bit tricky, as you'll be getting the rest of the cross to form. Make sure you don't disrupt the original line that you formed. Study the layout and try to find the other white pieces scattered around. This step might make you feel like you're shifting the entire formation, but switch the top part counterclockwise after getting your targeted white piece to the right side. After this part, you'll have to search for the last piece to form the cross. It might be in the middle of the bottom. If it is in the middle, you can move it downward to the bottom and then bring it back up until you get yourself the cross. By achieving this, you'll also have the center squares adjacent to their respective colors and in a cross shape like the white pieces. Take your left thumb and place it on the center of the cube and your right finger on the bottom with the other right finger on the top part to get ready to do some shifting. Start by turning the right side upward. Use your right index finger and pull the top part towards you. Then you have to turn the right side back down. And finally, use the left index finger to turn the top part also towards you. Then just keep repeating these steps until you start seeing some combinations and color matching. So that was the action with your right hand. Now you got to figure out the left hand technique. Get your fingers in position by placing your right thumb on the center of the cube and your left thumb and middle finger on the bottom and top respectively. Twist the cube upward with your left hand and then pull the top to rotate towards you. Twist the part again downward with your left hand and then use your right index finger to pull the top part towards you. You'll be making a constant circular motion with both the left and right hands. Repeat this step for a while. The next step is to search for a white part in the top corner. Make sure to pay attention to other colors adjacent to it. Since they're next to the white color, you'll need to figure out where they have to go. Check the centers and see if the colors that are adjacent to the white piece are sitting nicely in the centers of the cube. The white center square should be in the same place as the beginning, and if the colors green and orange are adjacent to it, then you should see green in one center and orange in another center. This means that the orange piece should move toward the orange center and the green piece toward the green center. To move them to their spots, you can use the right-hand combination moves that you used earlier and repeat the motion until they're there. At this point, you should have the white squares completely on one side. After this, search for the yellow centerpiece and try to find the pieces around it that don't have it. You may find orange and blue stuck together on a top piece. If you do, you'll have to move them away. Use your right hand to separate them with the same right-hand combination you made earlier. And then, you'll have to do the same combination with your left hand. The white part will remain on the side of the cube and the other colors will start to take shape and be more centered on a certain side. Keep searching for two pieces that aren't the same color on the cube and repeat the combinations until they're all placed in their color category. But you'll have one completely random side. Now, don't panic, this is part of the process. Keep the part of the random colors on the top, turn the layer in front of you clockwise, and then repeat the right-hand combination. After that, turn the layer facing you counterclockwise once. If you get an L shape on the top, then rotate it until the corner of the L is facing the top left corner of the cube. Next, repeat this step by turning the front layer clockwise, right-hand combination, and then undo the front layer back to how it was. You're almost done. Now you'll have the yellow cross on the top side. The next step is lining up the rest of the pieces. Depending on how you did it, you can either line up all 4 or just 2. If you have 2 solved crosses, place them on the back side and your right side. Move the right layer up and then the top layer to the left, and then put the right side back down. Move the top layer once more to the left and then move the right side back up. Move the left piece back to the right again, and you'll see that 80% of the colors have now filled their places, so you can now line everything else. Look at the corner pieces and see if the 3 colors that make the outer corner are in their right spots. If none are in the right spot, then you'll have to do another combination to get them in their corresponding spots. Get the right side up and use your left index finger to pull the top layer towards you and then the left layer up. Next, do the same thing, except move the right side down and the left side down too. If nothing is in its correct spot, then repeat the steps. Now you're in the home stretch. Most of the sides will be solved, so you'll just have to figure whatever is left out one by one. Take the most jumbled up part and place it at the bottom. This will require you to make the right-hand combination moves to solve the corner squares. Make these moves without rotating the cube, or else you'll have to start over. Continue this and voila! You did it! This is a basic Rubik's Cube, and solving any cube is just a matter of following these steps. So, everyone is watching you complete the steps in a matter of seconds. Your fingers are blazing through the cubes that they can't even see them sharply. But after solving the first few, you start to get odd shapes like pyramids and polygons. They may seem intimidating, but they actually follow the same steps and principles as a regular Rubik's Cube. It doesn't matter the shape or how many colors and layers. It all comes down to the technique and sharpness of the person solving it. The next shapes are extremely odd and uneven. It will take a bit more time to understand the shape, but eventually you'll just whiz through it and impress the crowd. Your fingers are tired from making all the moves and combinations. You take a break and see them roll out the final cube to solve. The crowd is in shock. The colors are completely scrambled, and you have only 3 minutes to solve this. You take some time to study it, but your mind feels like scrambled eggs. Well, you're face to face with the biggest puzzle on the planet and had no idea it even existed. Now, even though it might look intimidating, it also follows the same steps and moves. The countdown begins and you start solving it. After completing the first couple of steps, you accidentally mess up and have to start over from the beginning. You compose yourself and then continue. Only 30 seconds left and you're solving the corner. With 3 seconds to go, you finally solve it. You solve level 1 to 100 and are now crowned the champion. Ooh, pretty cool. Happy birthday, dear Sarah. Happy birthday to you. Your friends and family are with you. That cake is just perfect. And here come the gifts. Your boyfriend hands you a beautifully wrapped box with a ribbon. Please be a makeup kit. You unwrap it in a second and find some little multicolored box there. Oh wait, it's a Rubik's Cube. And it looks so weird. You're really mad at your boyfriend. It could have been a scarf, some jewelry, maybe a box of your favorite chocolates. But a Rubik's Cube? Really? Your sweetheart doesn't notice your disappointment and explains your cube is the 1x1 kind. The fun part about it is, it's always in the solved state. It seems pretty plain and straightforward, but some cubers call it the hardest one to solve. When all the guests leave, you go through your gifts again. You've hidden the cube out of your sight, but it falls on the floor. You decide it's a sign to give it a chance and do some more research on your gift. You find out you can make such a cubie from a corner cubie of a 3x3 Rubik's Cube, or you can buy it ready-made. Some cuber forums say it's the first step to solving it. The second one is bringing it home, and there you go. You just solved the 1x1 cube. But can it really be that simple? The 1x1 or 1x1x1 Rubik's Cube was invented in the late 1800s, before the original Rubik's Cube. Some people even say the inventor of the more famous 3x3 kind just stole the idea from it, but he denies it. The puzzle has 6 uniform faces of different colors and a mechanism that was unique for its time. You can't solve it by making turns. You have to rotate the entire thing to bring it into the solved state. You carefully inspect the cube. Can you even scramble it? Looks like it's impossible. And although it does look like it's always in a solved state, does it really mean you can't solve it? Many cubers claim you can. The current unofficial world record for it is 8 minutes 59 seconds. The fastest solve of the 3x3 Rubik's Cube is currently 3.47 seconds. Another proof that the 1x1 isn't so easy after all. You decide to find an algorithm for it and test it on your cube. Here's the 1x1 cube's lingo. Now, you need to practice rotating the cube. You have to let go of it with one hand and turn it around with the wrist of the other hand. It's not easy when you're a beginner, but you'll get there. Once you've rotated it, you've got to place the free hand back on it and re-grip it with the other hand. Well, you've practiced enough and feel like you're ready for the algorithm. Here's how it goes. Bring the top face to the back. Bring the face on the right to the front. Do it twice. Move the front face down to the left. Move the front face down to the right. You're doing great, keep going. Bring the top face to the back. It'll rotate the whole thing. Bring the face on the right to the front. Move the face on the left to the front. Perfect. Now you have to rotate the face on the right to the front 3 times. Rotate the entire puzzle by bringing the top face to the back. Bring the front face down to the right. Bring the face on the right to the front. Rotate the entire puzzle by bringing the top face to the back. Move the face on the left to the front. Almost there. Rotate the front face down to the right. Move the front face down to the left. Well, you decide you're a pro now, and find another algorithm that requires more creativity from you. The first step is to detach all stickers off your 1x1 Rubik's Cube. The second step is to color the empty faces with any paint you like. The web recommends opting for oil-based paints, but remember, they take a while to dry. The third step is to post the result to your social media. Alright, that was funny, but you've had enough fun today. Time to go to bed. You instantly fall asleep and find yourself in Rubik's Cube land. And you can only get out of it if you solve all the different cubes that live there. The first cube you meet on your way is the Sudoku cube. It's a super challenging combination of 2 puzzles in one. It has 6 faces of a cube and 9 numbers on each face. So that's a total of 54 numbers with 6 sets of numbers from 1 to 9. Your goal is to get each face of the cube to have all the numbers from 1 to 9 in any order. What works for one Sudoku cube might not work for another. You can't solve it yourself, so you ask for some hints. The Sudoku cube explains the secret is to master both the Rubik's Cube techniques and solving Sudoku. It says it also helps if you draw a 2D map of all the numbers on each face on paper. This way, you can easily figure out the whole arrangement of numbers. You can't move the central numbers on each 3x3 face. You have to twist and turn the cube layers to work out the positions of the corner face numbers. The center face numbers will help you. You gotta focus on putting together the numbers on one face. The rest will fall into place easily. A few hundred twists and turns later, you manage to get the order right. The Sudoku lets you step further. Your next stop is Pentamix. This monster is probably the world's hardest Rubik's Cube to solve. It consists of 975 individual parts and has more than 1,200 stickers on it. It took 75 hours to build and will probably take you much longer to solve. You decide to run away from it. But you bump into yourself. Oh, that's a mirror cube in all its glory. It doesn't have any colored stickers and consists of pieces of different shapes and sizes. You can solve it the same way as a regular 3x3 cube. So you have to remember the basics you learned a long time ago. You start solving them, and 2 hours later, the cube gets bored of you and lets you pass to the next one. Now this one is something different. The Master Morphix is triangle-shaped and can be one color or 4 colors. It has 4 triangle-shaped faces with one centerpiece each. You can rotate centerpieces 180 degrees. You're really confused with this one, but the cube explains it could have been worse. The higher ordered the Master Morphix is, the more difficult it is to solve. The next puzzle looks like a regular 3x3 cube, but can it really be that easy? Well, you grab it and start solving it. Yikes! What just happened? It suddenly transformed into a star shape. This cube has foldable sides and many hidden layers. You don't have to strain your brain or use any algorithms to solve this one. You can just get creative and transform it into various geometric figures. Wow, what a beautiful color! It can be a star, 2 stars, a rectangle, or 2 rectangles. You can put the parts together or separate them. You get so into the process, you forget about everything. And then suddenly, you hear some familiar tune. It's your alarm. You managed to escape from Rubik's Cube land, but now you kind of miss it. You go online and type in the most unusual Rubik's Cubes. 10 minutes later, you receive confirmation for your order of 11 new puzzles. What started as a bad birthday gift grew into your new favorite hobby. Well, how about that?